been a solid 5 months worth of emailing back and forth and Skyping and phone calls, and about probably a good, I was trying to figure it out, and I think it's about 20 hours a week that we've been spending just on getting all the sponsors lined up for this year. And it's all done. It feels so good to have a completed list, and we're going to share with you guys every sponsor that we have for this year. And I also want to share why we have sponsors and how sponsorship works with a YouTube channel, because I think a few people are curious about that. So why do we have sponsors for our YouTube channel? Well, there's some really good reasons for that. And the biggest one is being able to do it full time. Making these videos takes about 60 to 70 hours every single week to do all of the shooting and the editing and the emailing and the producing and putting it on YouTube. It takes a lot of time to put out just one video a week. And also, you might be surprised, you know, I guess you could say we're one of the larger mountain bike YouTube channels with over 200,000 subscribers, maybe around like 1 million views a month on average. And those numbers sound really impressive, but you know, one of the things that might surprise you is that the actual YouTube income from those views only makes up about 35% of our total income. And we're not talking about a lavish lifestyle, we're talking about budgeting and keeping track of that pocketbook pretty tightly throughout the year. So take like a pro racer. Even if that racer were to get first place at a number of races, like pro World Cup level races, the income from those wins would never be enough to support them. And so pro racers rely on sponsors for the majority of their income, just like us. And so here's the thing, between us, like YouTubers, and pro racers, sponsors sponsor us for the exact same reason. And that reason is that when we put out our content, and for us it's putting out videos, and for them it's racing and having content made of them, it inspires people to get out and ride their bikes, and hopefully ride the bikes with those products that the sponsors make. So for us, we just quite literally could not run this channel the way we do without the sponsors that we have. And so we can't thank them enough for that. And especially our patrons. Our patrons have been there from the very start, and thank you so much to all the patrons that support us monthly as well. And if you guys want to get in on that, go and check out patreon.com/theloamranger, where you can get all the inside scoop of everything we're up to. You can get merch, and like t-shirts and stickers, all kinds of fun stuff, so make sure you check that out.
So, how do we choose a sponsor? We start by contacting the companies whose products we really love and that we're already using. We always want to be totally honest on the channel and showing off stuff that we actually love. The other thing that's really important to us is to work with companies that support what we're doing. We want to tell stories, and we don't want to feel like we're just showing off products and doing an infomercial about this or that. We want you guys to see us using things that we actually want to use.
All right, why don't we get onto that sponsor list, shall we? Oh, there's the first one now. And this is Mucky Nutz fenders. Now, Mucky Nutz has been a big supporter of the channel the last few years by way of sending us product to use. And I have to say, at least 50% of all the footage you've ever seen on our channel is thanks to their mud fenders, making sure that our cameras aren't splattered with mud every single time we hit the trail. They are now a full-on partner of the channel for this year, which we're really excited about. They're awesome people from the UK. And this is my favorite fender that they make. It is called the Mud Guard. They have a short one and a long one. And what's really cool about them is that they use really minimal packaging, and this is made from 100% recycled plastic. So good things all around. These are also practically indestructible. I've been using one of these the whole last season, and it still looks brand new, working perfectly. Yeah, they're really solid. Go and check them out. Okay, next up. Oh, look at this. We got some tires, and by that I mean Michelin tires. And you might remember about midway through last year, we started using Michelin tires. The distributor for Michelin, HLC here in Canada, which is an amazing distributor company, by the way, they sent us some tires to test out. And the moment I put them on my bike, I knew that I didn't really want to ride anything else, which is saying a lot for me, because I've been one of the many people out there that have been pretty ferociously Maxxis DHF front, DHR rear. But these ones, I am telling you, destroy those tires in many different ways. When I raced the EWS, during practice, people were actually stopping me and saying that they could visually see that I had more grip than anybody else with these tires. They're really durable. I'm still using the original set on my last bike after, a good like 7 or 8 months of lots and lots of rocky riding. And yeah, I really can't be happier with these. And specifically, the ones that we have been using up until this point have been the Wild Enduro series. They have a front tire and a rear specific tire with a couple of different compounds. I typically use the Gum X compound. It's a little bit softer. Oh man, I woke up super sick this morning. Now I'm standing outside. Good times. We're gonna be using these tires on our first builds of the year. It's gonna be awesome. And then in the springtime, just for when Whistler opens, we're gonna get a set of their upcoming DH22 downhill tires to throw on the bikes. Ooh, I cannot wait for those. Michelin, thank you so much for supporting us. Make sure you go and check them out because they truly are amazing tires. Whoa. All right, I'm too cold, we're going in.
All right, so back for another year is 661. We're really excited to be head to toe in their protection again. We love their helmets from last year. This is actually Ryan's trail helmet from this past summer, and you can see that it's just still in awesome condition. They've come out with this line that provides you with downhill level protection, but it's also super comfortable and it's low profile, slim. Ryan and I enjoy wearing it even on our long rides. It's really great stuff. So there's also some other things coming from 661 this year that I think is going to be pretty cool. You guys should definitely keep checking them out.
I think it's time we talk eyewear.
Another returning sponsor this year is Smith.
Smith Optics, yeah. So they were a sponsor last year and they are back for another full season.
Yeah, my favorite from last year was the Attack, and I was wearing it all season long and I just love it.
Yeah.
Haven't stopped.
Fancy. Yeah, my two favorites are, one, these are the Wildcats, and so they're like my trail riding glasses. They also come with a clear lens. These have been super cool, really stylish. People stop me all the time and ask like what brand they are and what they are. They're pretty sweet. And then for goggles, these are the Squad XL MTB goggles. And you know, Smith makes a lot of really good products, but the one thing that I really need to tell you guys about is this one specific lens. It's called the Contrast
Rose Flash.
Contrast Rose Flash lens. It looks good. It's just the right amount of tint for darker days and lighter days. It's just right in the middle of where you want it to be. And it's got chroma pop in it, and so especially with this tint, it's kind of like putting a Photoshop filter on your eyes when you're riding. It's really hard to describe. I don't know, this is obviously not going to, nope, that totally didn't
work.
do justice. Yeah. But so they are really fantastic.
The actual name is Chroma Pop Rose Flash. Chroma Pop Contrast Rose Flash.
Yeah, we wrote it down. We're pros of this. Yeah, Smith is on for another year, thanks to them. And yeah, they're sick products. This is what we've been using all last year, and we don't need anything new. Everything is perfect shape, working great, and away we go. Okay, for those of you who watched our live stream a few days back, you will have seen this sponsor already, and we are so, I'm so pumped about this sponsor. It is Zipp Wheels. Let's find a...
Lower, there you go, yeah.
Still not focused on it. That sounded really awkward too. Zipp Wheels, so this is Zipp's first mountain bike wheel, and man did they ever come out swinging. This is called the 30 Moto, which means it's a 30mm internal width rim, and I first tried it out at Whistler Bike Park on opening weekend, and it's one of the few products out there, like brand new products, that kind of blew my mind. So they were doing a demo thing where they would put it onto your bike and you can go ride the Whistler Bike Park with it to test it. Like, what better testing is there for that?
Especially after riding your own bike in the bike park, and then
with your regular
wheels, and then throwing that on, and just the direct comparison. You were totally blown away.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. Like, I felt like I had an extra inch of suspension on my bike, and off-camber sections. Okay, so what makes these rims special and different from anything else? Well, they're moto inspired, hence the name, and so it's a single wall rim, and it allows the rim to actually pivot like this. They call it ankle compliance, and so when you're in off-camber sections or when you're smashing through rock gardens, the rim actually is able to deform like this in a way that makes it a smoother ride, it makes it easier on your hands and gives you more traction. And one of the really cool things is that they tell people to run these without tire inserts, and I can't stand running tire inserts, and so that is right up my alley. And the reason why you don't need to run tire inserts is because normally on regular, very stiff carbon wheels with box sections and everything, when you smash into a rock, there's really no give there, and so it's either going to pop your tire or it's going to crack your rim. Whereas with these, it's able to kind of move with that impact and absorb it and kind of spread that impact out throughout the rest of the wheel. So yeah, pretty amazing tech. And just to add to the awesomeness of this wheel, and it is a big add-on, if you can see, this thing called a tire whiz from Quark that is a part of this wheel when you buy a wheel set. And it actively, digitally monitors in real time your PSI levels for your wheel set. And so you can connect this to your cycling computer via Bluetooth, and you can monitor it all the time, even down to like 1/10 of a PSI. It is really, really incredible stuff. Like right now, I just seated the tire up to this not too long ago, and I've got extra pressure in it, and it's beyond my parameters, so it is blinking fast red, whereas if it was blinking green, that means you're good to go. It's within your parameters, and if it's blinking slow red, that means it's a little low. So you can use the app, or you can look right at the wheel, and it just tells you right before you head down the trail, which is awesome. It is the real deal. The hype is real on these. Make sure you check them out. So yeah, Zipp 3.0 motor wheels. I cannot wait to get these on our new builds. Okay, so for this next sponsor, it's really, really cool. It's double exciting because not only am I announcing who it is, but also you are all going to be one of the very first people to actually see a brand new product from them. Let's check it out. These are Catalyst pedals from Pedaling Innovations. And then this is the brand spanking new model. Now, Pedaling Innovations is doing a public launch on these very, very quickly. I think possibly even tomorrow. And so make sure you go and get on their mailing list, because everybody on their mailing list is going to be able to order these first. So I started using these, about 2 years ago, and I started using them for 2 very specific reasons. I was ready to go back to clipless pedals, mostly because 1, my feet kept bouncing off my pedals like crazy, especially in really fast, rocky situations, like at Whistler Bike Park, top of the world. My feet were blowing off the pedals all over the place. And 2, also on a run like top of the world, actually, I would get pretty bad calf cramps after a long while, and I think a lot of people who ride flats do, especially if you don't have a lot of support in your shoes. These pedals solved both of those things, and that I'm talking about the old version of the pedals. Now these are even better, and I'll tell you why in a second. So with these pedals, you actually have a more centered position for your foot on the pedal. So not only is it a bigger surface to spread out that weight load more across your foot, you also have your foot a little bit more forward, and so you're pressing into your pedals much in the same way that you would do a leg press at the gym, where you're really using your whole foot. And so since I started using them, my feet never blow off the pedals, or it's very, very rare. I never get the calf cramps anymore. And now with this new one, what's really cool is that it's lighter than the previous version. The pins, let's see, zoom in on the pins here. So there's less pins on the new model, but each pin is much more grippy, and they go in from the bottom rather than screwing in from the top. So they're a lot less prone to damage. And overall, I mean, like the internals are better on the new one, and there's even a titanium spindle option for those major gram counters. So yeah, Pedaling Innovations is our Catalyst pedal. The team behind Pedaling Innovations just do amazing work. They're such great people too, out of Colorado. Yeah, go and check them out, support the business, and enjoy the nicest ride your feet have ever had. Okay, everybody, we are down to the last 2 sponsors. Focus. There it is, 2 sponsors. Do you remember my first sort of dream build that I did a couple years back? And I put a brand new suspension fork on there, and it was incredible. Does anybody remember what that is? Let me show you. I have it with me right here. That, my friends, is my new MRP ribbon fork. All right, so it's obviously not an actual ribbon fork. It's on the way. So MRP is the next sponsor that I wanted to talk about, and they're amazing suspension products and chain guides too. We've got some ribbons on the way, and when I first used the very first generation ribbon a couple of years ago, it really opened my eyes to what like premium suspension feels like. Up until then, it'd always been budget forks, but this one is just, it really blew me away. And now they actually have updated internals with this thing called Choco Lux, and also updated bushings, and so apparently, I haven't tried the new ones out yet. They're on the way, but somehow the performance is even better now, so I'm really pumped to try that out. I'm going to be using the Ribbon Air version. They also have a coil version. And speaking of coils, rear shock. This is the MRP Hazard Coil Shock, which we are going to be running on all of our bikes. And yeah, it's a really lightweight coil shock with a progressive spring on it, and that is something I'm really, really excited for, because that means you could put a coil shock on bikes that normally would only be able to run an air shock. So coil fun for everyone, and I won't have to be checking pressures or anything like that when I show up to ride in a new place. I know it's always going to be set right. It's the beauty of coil right there. I cannot wait to get the suspension parts in and the chain guides in. We're going to have chain guides for all of our bikes as well, and everybody knows MRP for their chain guides and bash guards. Absolutely best in the business. Last but not least, while I still have a voice, we are going to get to our brand new bike sponsor. Look at us in our toques, our Canadian toques.
Finally, we're here. We get to tell you guys about our new frame sponsor.
It's been really hard to keep this a secret as long as we have. I just want to put this out there first and foremost. I would say the biggest reason why we immediately knew that this company was right for us was because of the people. Right from our very first Skype call, we were like, man, these people are awesome. They get us. They They know what our channel is about. They don't want to change anything about it. They just want to be a part of the journey.
Yeah, they just want to see us tell good stories on their bikes.
Yep.
And so without further ado,
drum roll. Ibis Cycles is going to be our new bike sponsor for 2020 and beyond. Oh man, we're so pumped. Like, look at this bike right here. This is a Mojo HD5. Let's try and get it focused on there. And our beautiful MRP shock on there, hazard shock.
Like, one of the first things we noticed when we were taking the frames out of the box was just so much attention to detail.
Yeah.
These bikes
they're really refined.
They're beautiful.
This is my extra large HD5. It's got whoosh, it's got like 500 mils.
Large.
It's got like 500 mils of reach. Nice steep C-tube angle. So for me, my Geo, the Geo that I love, is there on this bike. So I'm really pumped about it. 27.5 bike, and this is actually going to be my awesome like bike park bike. I've got some big, terrible plans for this thing. And Beth, what bike do you got? Woo! Look at that thing. Sweet bike.
Sweet bike.
So that's 29er, nice slack head tube angle, steep seat tube angle.
I'm super excited about the standover height and just like other little things that they've thought of, like this little adapted spot for your water bottle.
So you can figure a bigger one.
Actually have a water bottle on a small frame.
Yeah.
I feel like they've just thought of everything that a small rider needs.
I've got my own Ritmo on the way and I cannot wait to show you that one. Ooh. That's gonna be good. So we're gonna bring these bikes into our local shop over at Rebound Cycle here in Canmore and yeah, get them all built up. And then the very next thing is we are driving out west to go actually ride some dirt.
Yeah, I'm so excited to hit dirt instead of snow and
Yeah.
to see my bike all together instead of many, many pieces.
Yep. So that's that. That's the 2020 sponsorship announcement video. Oh man, like the lineup for this year is just incredible. We're really pumped about it. Make sure you go and click the links in the description below. They're all tracked links, and that means that basically when somebody clicks on it, you know, it shows like a click that we can keep track of. And the companies that support us, they love to see those things to show that, you know, it's worth investing in YouTube channels like ours. So make sure you go check out the companies down in the description below and leave a comment as well. Let us know what you think about the builds. What do you love? What would you change? And yeah, what do you want to see from us coming up in this year? Do you want more tutorials? Do you want more POV riding footage? Let us know.
All right, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. We've got a super special video coming out next week, so be sure to come back and we'll see you then.
Yep. See you everybody. Cheers.